Hi everyone, let's see what is happening in the charts today. So yesterday I forecasted that today is a much stronger day in terms of Astro, and despite that today is performing quite bad. I repeat again that we never had any fractal that topped on the 14th, which means that this is a local move. This freak pump here doesn't look like a top because not a single fractal had this top identified, and these fractals have nailed several tops before, so they're not just random fractals. Not a single top on the 14th. So what happens is the top was expected on the 15th according to this Chinese fractal. So what this means is that we're following the Chinese fractal for now. Today, the Chinese fractal was correct for yesterday. Yesterday was higher than the day before. So we follow the Chinese fractal for now. Today is lower. Tomorrow is lower according to the Chinese fractal, reaching a bottom on Saturday, the 19th, and then it starts going up according to the Chinese fractal. This fractal is invalid at the moment, so I don't recommend that we follow this fractal unless it's only lunchtime now, UTC, 12 o'clock UTC, so we never know, we may get a pump today, but if we don't get a pump, it is invalidated and we're just gonna ignore it for a while. The next fractal that we have was eclipse cycle number 1, which pointed to 15th of July to be a local bottom, which looks like that. 16th of July higher, looks like that. And 17th of July higher. However, it's not really the case, is it? For now, for lunchtime on the 17th, this is not the case. We'll see what happens. By the end of the day, we will know which fractal we are on, this eclipse fractal 1 or the Chinese fractal. Now, I have a bit of an inside information. I don't know how much I can trust that guy, but I've been told that pumps are expected early in next week. So it could be from Monday, or it could be even from Sunday. So we have to be alert from that. As I said here, the fact that not a single fractal had the 14th of July isolated as a possible top means that there will be another top coming soon. It will come by 23rd of July at the latest. So on weekly time frames, I'm forecasting that by 23rd of July, the price will be higher. On the exact daily time frame, I'm not sure right now on what date we can expect the top, because at the moment we don't know on which fractal we are. Once we see what happens here on the 19th of July, if the 19th of July is lower, then we're on the white fractal, and that means 23rd of July top. And if we are on another fractal, it may mean 19th of July top. We don't know yet. So today we're going to have to wait and see. If it closes on the red, we're on the white fractal for today, and we expect lower tomorrow, which seems to be the case. Now, that is the official forecast, actually, because for now it's red, and it looks like we're going to be closing on the red today, and that means we're on the white fractal, and we're expecting a lower tomorrow, 18th of July, and we're expecting a local bottom on the 19th of July. If this changes, then immediately we will know that the fractal has changed and we're no longer on the white fractal. And I will provide another update tomorrow if this closes on a green. Okay, so these are the fractals. We need to check the confluences. So you saw me yesterday posting something. I will cover that in a minute, actually. So first of all, let's orient ourselves where we are, by looking at the eclipse fractals. This time they present it in a different way. So 17th of July, the reason why I forecasted a top for today is because we have very high historical reference here for day number 109 of the eclipse cycle. This table goes like this. Every single eclipse is listed from the day of the solar eclipse, and then we count days, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days after the eclipse, right? And this is the table that is giving me the eclipse forecasts in the daily time frames. So today, the 17th of July, is day number 110. 1/10 of the solar eclipse, of the beginning of the solar eclipse, and this day is known that it produced the top in January. So we are in a top area. There are no other tops after that. You can see it's all red after that on the eclipse cycles. So that was the reason why I forecasted today to be a potential top, and I said if it's not working out as a top, then it will be soon, because we have another top coming here on the 19th of July. 19th of July also has a historical top. So these are the eclipse cycles. That's their forecast. Then we're moving to my Chinese cycles forecast. Nothing significant on the 17th, except that we had very high probability of closing on green. We have 65% probability of closing on green. We have historical references here about today as the day of the fire pig. An XRP pump, which I mentioned in the video yesterday. And that's exactly what we got today. We got an XRP pump. And we have two catastrophes. We have the Mexican ship that crashed the New York bridge, and we have the Sena crash. I keep an eye on these crashes because they're quite big, so I will not be surprised if we get something of that nature today. Okay, so I had to have a green forecast for today because this is a very high probability. 65% is a very high probability for a daily time frame, because there is a lot of data involved. Normally you get that big percentage when you have a small amount of data. The smaller the amount of data, the higher the percentage of probabilities. But this is a very big pool of data. These are daily time frames for the whole life of Bitcoin. And despite that, to get that high percentage and also very high performance here in 2025 on that particular time frame, it's quite something. So I had to make a green forecast for today. And then if it's not accurate, it's not accurate. Tomorrow, the probability of closing on a green tomorrow is much less. Now let's see what historical tops we have had here in these weeks, right? So we have had the historical top 22nd of May. It's on this time frame, the same time frame of 21st of July. The Chinese cycles are also running very accurate. That was the metal rabbit. So metal rabbit in the month of the goat. Yes, it is very possible the 21st of July will deliver pumps and possibly make the top. On the Chinese time frames, 21st of July is stronger than 22nd of July. We're expecting an XRP top on 22nd of July, by the way. I'll provide another update by then anyway. So 22nd of July, XRP top. And yes, there are some historical tops in the next few days. We have had a top in July 2024, and we have had a top in September 2024 in these coming days. So do you see the difference that the eclipse cycles are done? The eclipse cycles are saying no more tops. After 19th of July, no more tops. The eclipse cycle is done, right? So that in itself means take it seriously. If there is a top after that, it will be a very quick spike and then going down. The eclipse cycle is heading down now. But the Chinese cycle is saying, oh, give it a chance. There will be a possibility of a few tops here in this coming week. Okay, and then it will head down. Okay, so we need to take both of them seriously. So the next date according to the Chinese cycle is 21st of July. That is expecting to make a top. But look, also 20th, the 20th of July has a very high probability of closing on green. It has 61% probability of closing on green for Bitcoin. The 20th of July, 1 second, let me just highlight it properly. Here it is. So let's come back to the fractals now. 20th of July, yes, here it is on the Chinese fractal. 20th, 21st, the quite strong dates, and then 23rd of July. So these were nice confluences to the fractals, and then let's have a look here what is happening on those dates. So 20th is given as one of the lowest dates for Bitcoin, for the historical closures, but we can't take it that seriously because look, today is one of the highest green closures and still we're not performing up today. So we just keep that in mind and we'll see what happens nearer the time. The solar eclipses are very bullish for 20th of July and 19th of July as well. The gun tops are done. Gun top is saying 18th of July is the latest by which there will be a top. The gun tops are done. Again, we cannot take them very seriously. Gun bottom is identified. This is a very important cycle. This cycle is running from 21st of November, which made the bottom, and since then the rally began, and we're still on that rally that began from 21st of November. So that is a very big cycle, very strong cycle that is operating now, and according to this cycle, the bottom is on 28th of July. I have said it in several videos before, and in the written update on the website, that 25th of July, between 25th of July and 31st of July, we're looking to make the bottom. And that is one of the reasons for my red closure of July forecast. However, the first week of August is looking red as well. So we'll narrow it down nearer the time. 25th of July may end up to be the bear reversal. And it will be short and quick. There are not that many days for a downtrend. So it will be short and brutal. If 23rd of July is high. So what is happening here? So on Mercury retrograde cycles, Mercury retrograde is pointing that the 19th and the 20th will be very strong. And 21st at the latest, not longer than that. So we keep that in mind. That 19 is expected to be the bull reversal from a local bottom. Come back to the fractals here. 19th, it looks like a local bottom. So it may end up making a low and then still closing on a green and making a nice bull reversal locally. Then moving on to daily time frames. 19th of July is looking very strong on daily time frames. Something has a square to the sun. Chiron has a square to the sun. So 18th of July, so 17th of July, it's a real pity because it looks very strong. I wouldn't just forecast it with one or two confluences. It has a lot of bullish events on the 17th of July, but today Mercury is stationing, and this is what is raining. That's what is bringing the rain today. zero degree speed is just completely stationed, and this was the reason why I expected that some of the previous days would be bearish as well. Because of that very slow speed, it decided to finally make the station. The rest of 17th of July is looking good, everything else is good, but that Mercury station is bad. And then tomorrow is not as good as today, the 18th. We have a lot of positive aspects though. Mixed picture for tomorrow, for the 18th. And now let's come back a little bit on bigger time frames. I'm just gonna cover tomorrow because it gets too much information after that. 19th of July is looking green, by the way, after the moon makes a square to Mercury. Everything else is green after that. There is a square between Chiron and the Sun on the 19th. I have back tested that, so let's have a look at these results. Okay, this is an aspect that is happening today, by the way, very late today. And this aspect is forecasting. It's an obscure aspect. People normally don't use those obscure aspects. It's forecasting 65% probability of the immediate trend to be down after the event. So, Sun square Chiron, which is happening on the 19th of July, it gives us 55%, or actually a bit lower. It's 50-50, so we cannot use it to forecast anything. For the daily closure, it gives us 50-50. And then for the trend after, it's forecasting a downtrend, but with a very small probability. So it's a shame, but we cannot use this aspect, very small probability. Okay, so this is it for today. Pointless. Yes, let me just cover quickly the weekly time frames actually to see where we are. So come on. Okay, so what Mars is forecasting that by 16th of July we will close on a green in relation to 9th of July. Let's see whether that was accurate. So 9th of July was here and 16th of July closed higher, so that gets a tick. So the weekly time frames provided by Mars so far are running with 100% accuracy. I'm very pleased about this cycle. I have been using this for the past 2 years and it's running very accurate. And look at that now. It's giving us 88% probability of closing on a green on 23rd of July, closing on a green in relation to 16th, which is a very high percentage probability. That is why this is one of my main reasons why I expect more to the upside for Bitcoin. Because it is a very reliable cycle and provides very high percentage accuracy. And this is very high percentage as well, the 88%. So yes, more to the upside is coming. Mercury cycle. It says 17th of July is expected to be lower than 10th of July. Let's have a look. 17th of July. Oh, this has to dump quite low to make it lower than the 10th of July. We'll see. The day has not closed yet, so we can't assess the accuracy of this one. And then it's giving a 63% probability that 24th of July will be closing higher than 17th of July. And then we have Venus cycle, Venus in zodiac signs. So let's get Venus in zodiac signs. Let me see where I wrote that. Okay, what is happening with Venus? So the forecast was 64% probability that 18th of July will be closing higher than 11th of July. Let's have a look. 18th of July. Oh, we don't know yet. Will be closing higher than 11th of July. 11th of July is quite high. 64% probability. We don't know yet. And then very high percentage probability again, 61% probability that 25th of July will be closing higher than 18th of July. So both of these, all of the cycles really, Venus, Mercury's percentage is small, 63, but Venus is very high, 71% Venus and 88% Mars are saying that around 23rd of July we will be very high, much higher than the 16th of July, which confirms the expected up moves to come, which suggests that the Chinese cycle at the moment is running with the highest accuracy. And if that is the case, then we can expect 20th to be higher, 21st to be higher, and 23rd to be higher. This is it for today, and tomorrow I will provide another update after I see how today closes. Bye for now.